Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the Plum Island Horror. I'm your host, Vorm. We're ready to begin round two. Briefly, though, let me make one mention. At the end of the last episode, we had a terribly exciting combat between the birds of prey that just happened to pick this space to drop into with Martha Winfrey, our CEO. They inflicted enough damage that she would have died, but she made her bravery saving throw, she needed a 1 or a 2 out of 6, and she managed to get it. So she's sitting at 2 health out of 3. So the consequence I missed is a rules error. So I forgot that we had a close combat. So I was supposed to have taken a biohazard cube and put it in the bag. So we'll do that now. And that gets our rules error caught up. But a consequence that it didn't occur to me at the time, and that I figured out after reviewing and editing, is that because she's now at 2 damage out of 3 total health, she only has 1 point of damage left that she can take. That causes a really big problem because her goal for coming over here was to get to the hospital, repair that damage marker, and then drop the compound for their faction. But placing the compound puts a hit on the unit. It's representing members of her posse or her friends and employees that travel with her, peeling off to man the compound. So she takes a point of damage. She can't do that now. And I have no healing anywhere in the area. There's no ability for her to get healed so that she can then do it. So that is a huge problem. I didn't consider that when the situation first developed. And I have no good choices on how to fix that issue. I need to get a compound in this column because it's important or critical that we block this stack and prevent it from rolling south, of course. But if it gets to the bridge, this is a really huge issue and can lead to a game over condition pretty quickly. So now I have to figure out how we're going to work around that additional complication. Earlier, I thought I just had to get her out from under the bird and then we could do our things. But now that she can't do the main thing I brought her over here to do, everything's kind of up in the air again. So the other option is I can bring Kevin Blart over to this location to set up the thing. He's got the admin rating and he's got 4 movement. It would take him 2 actions to get over here. He could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. And problem is that's going to take, let's see, if he did 1 movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, then he's got only 2 foot movement. Yeah, he still can't make it with the foot movement. He'd have to do both of those, which is going to burn fuel twice, which is going to subtract from our very limited supplies. We've only got 4 supplies, and next round we have to pay at the start of the round a supply for each of the people we have on the board. And if not, if we can't pay it, then we have to do damage to people. So I did not need this problem. I got to decide between that choice. That's choice 1. Choice 2 is we bring Ed Cramden over during their turns. Similar problem. They have to burn fuel for the bus. He was planning on evacuating out more of these high-value civilian units, so I really don't want to pull him off of that duty to divert him over there and put their compound. And then finally, we've got one other option. We've got Dr. House over here who, as a follow action during these guys' turn, he could try to repair the damage to the hospital. That would free up the air med unit. And then an action by Martha Winfrey would have her basically have the medevac, the air med chopper, pick her up and bring her to the hospital, and she would heal a point. But then she'd have to make the return trip if the intent was to set the compound up again, which, again, uses all that movement rate. So I'm leaning towards doing this version because I already need to get that fixed. It's something that is a high priority task regardless. So that part of it is fine. And she's got such fast movement. She could get back there in 2 turns and use the same amount of fuel that he would use, but I wouldn't have to pull him off of his guard duty in that middle section. So I think that's what we're going to go with. Other than that, everybody's scattered around. You kind of see where everybody's at. We've still got our grouped up high value civilians in the middle here that he's going to try to move. I'd love to get these civilians down into the town dump. There is a helipad there, and we could have the Coast Guard helicopter come over and start getting them out. We need to get supplies, as mentioned, and, stuff's going to happen. But we don't know who's going to get the first turn. We got to draw the token out of the bag in order to see what's going to happen. So I can't really make any hard decisions until we see what the turn order is going to be. So, with all that, bringing you up to speed for what I'm considering and the situation for the board, we'll go ahead and we'll get things rolling. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw our first token. Just to recap, here's the phase sequence of play, upper left. We don't have a hunger phase because it's not a night round. So we go straight to number 2, activity phase, draw turn order, token step. We got the Pearl services getting to take their turn. So that's good. We can get Martha out from under this. So first thing that happens during the turn, we do our crisis adrenaline movement. So all of the Pearl services folks get to move up to their foot movement rate. So we're going to go ahead and get her up into the hospital or the airport area. Bones McCoy is not going to move. Venkman's not going to move. He's kind of guarding the column against these. He is not going to move. He's stopping that murder of horrors and protecting some civilians. Trying to anyway. Same thing with Dr. Corey. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's everybody. We've got one movement. I always feel like I'm wasting potential by not getting these guys moving around. But they're where they need to be at the moment. All right, so crisis adrenaline move is done. Now we get 2 actions per character. Then we'll do the follow-up actions. So I can still have her try to repair the damage. So let's go ahead and get that done. Our 2 actions total, not per character. So we're going to go ahead and have, let's see, is that the critical timing right now? Because it's going to take... Let's see, 2 actions for them, then a follow-up. The follow-up is first going to be trying to repair the hospital. And then secondly, probably either Ed or get the fire marshal moving. So regarding the birds of prey, it's randomized movement when it's not got a person or a civilian to eat or murder in the space it's in. So it could land pretty much anywhere other than the top 3 or 4 spaces, because its minimum is like this row and down. But moving Fire Marshal Bill to a central location in an attempt to try to get him adjacent to the bird, and then using his fire hose ability to stun it and hold it in place, and keep doing that while I bring other people over to try to kill it with range fire, is pretty much my only hope of getting rid of this thing. So, yeah. I really don't have any other way to do it reliably, because it's going to just keep hopping around, because I don't want to put anybody in the space with it to take that 4 automatic damage. So, barring I send somebody over strong enough that I think I could get the full amount of damage on it, but we're not the army units or National Guard or anything, so, or the constabulary. We have pretty terrible ratings. So getting Venkman in range would be good. Actually, regarding that, let me think about that. So what I'm thinking about here is Venkman's the top middle guy. Got the anti-mutant foam. From an adjacent space can do the special attack, and a high number is going to inflict 5 hits. If we draw a 6, we kill the bird. If we draw a 5, that's going to be half rounded up. That's 3 out of its 4 hits just from that. So, that is something to consider, because we're only... All right, I got to think about this. You move back. He's right there. He's got only a 1 foot move, though, and I needed a 2 in order to get the attack off. So we'd have to spend a supply. Then we'd have to do the special action. So that would be our 2 actions. I wouldn't be able to follow it up immediately. Man, I really do need to get rid of this thing. I think I might have to change the order of events here. Yeah, let's change the order of events. So I can't move her here, unfortunately. because you can only have 2 people in a space, so then I wouldn't be able to bring Venkman down to do the attack. So that means I need to get her out of here. Let's Crisis Adrenaline move her there. And then we'll use the first of the actions here. We'll spend a supply to get him moved south. So that's one of our 2 actions, and we've got to burn a supply, unfortunately, to do that. And then second action, we're going to do his special action, and we're going to go after the bird. We're going to hope we get at least a decent-ish number. I need at least 2 damage. That way, if we get to go again before the bird leaves, he'll be able to have a good shot, a good chance at finishing it off and removing this massive pain in my side. So, yeah. All right. So first action done. Second action, we're going to use his special action. It's just draw a card. Hope for a high number. So, drawing the fake card, we get a 4. So that's the 2 damage. That is decent. It doesn't kill it, unfortunately. That would have been the best result. So, let's go ahead and take 2 hit cubes. 1, 2. Put those on the bird over here. 2 out of the 4 complete. And that is it. That's our 2 actions. So, follow-up actions. The answer is yes. We're going to still try to do the medevac chopper. So we're going to try to do a repair action. We've got 2 points of damage. He's got 3. So we need, 4, 5, 6 again? The repair table, 2 to 3 is only going to be 1. Yeah, we need 4, 5, 6. All right. Number we get is a 5. All right, the hospital is up and running. Damage token is removed. He goes back. And we are going to have to draw a fate card for the follow action. But the air med helicopter is in play again, and also it could start evacuating civilians. So we could do a follow action, a second follow action to actually evac these civilians out. Or, you know, we activate somebody else to get other important stuff done. All right, let's draw our event card. Or draw our fate card, I mean. No event. Cool. Second follow action. Let's see. I still need to get the repairs done down here, but it's not immediately time critical. I would love to get people moved. I need to get Fire Marshal Bill on his way. But is it worth the possible event card draw? I think it is. I'm going to go ahead and activate Ed. And we're going to do some more transport of these high-value civilians. So, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to have to pay another supply for the vehicular movement. So we'll grab a supply point here. 6 movements, and we can only carry 1 person at a time. So he's going to pick this person up, go 1, 2, then go back here for 3, pick that one up, 4, 5, and then back here again. So pretty much we just need to get these docks repaired, and we could fairly quickly, with his next thing, he's going to grab these and do something similar. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points out of the 26 we need are sitting right here. So another round or 2 of action with Ed. And if I can take the time to get the dock repaired, we can start getting 4 tokens at a time out. So that's a huge amount of what we need to save. And then if we can get these 3 into a compound, that gets us to 20. So And we might be able to get some incidentals. There's 4 there. We might be able to get out 5, 6, 7. So, you know, we've got enough down south. If we can just delay for another round or 2 without any disasters, then we'll have the civilian evac done. And playing with the basic rules, once you've got that done, there's a big pivot in our capabilities because we no longer have to spend a huge part of our action point budget moving and evacuating civilians, and then we can turn it to delaying and destroying the murders that are coming down. So it's a big pivot. Plus we have 3 actions per turn for our factions, so we just got to get some more of this stuff done and avoiding any of the really big dangers. All right, so that was the second one. We do have to draw another event card. No event. Great. All right, so that's perfect. Now we move on. So we have done everything for the first token. Time to draw a second token. We drew, oh, Pearl again. Oh, that's, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think I was hoping that would happen a little later. That means still got to repair that before the helipad is available. That means we get to do the foam again, though, at a very minimum. Plus, we have McCoy here, who also has 1 range die, which we might not get a hit with, with only rolling 1 die. But if McCoy gets, he needs, what, another 4? Is it, no, it's rounded up, right? His special ability. Yeah, it's rounded up. So 3 or higher. On a 1, a new murder gets spawned, which would be bad. A 2 would be only a single damage, which wouldn't finish it. So we just need a 3 or higher. We need to avoid or a 1 or a 2. Okay. But first we have to do the crisis move, which is where, unfortunately, things are a bit of a problem. Because I got to make that decision first. I was really hoping to get her up into this space, but she's kind of useless until I can get her medevaced anyway. I can't use her for what I was bringing her over here for, so. All right. Let's, nobody's going to move. Let's go ahead and do Venkman first. So we're using his special ability for the foam attack again. Doesn't have a resource cost or anything like that. He can do it adjacent. We're going to draw a card. So action number 1, please do not be a 1 or a 2. Please do not be a 1 or a 2. Oh. Damn it. Still a problem. Well, it's up to 3 out of 4 damage. Now I got to rely on a single die roll with, again, only 2 chances to hit. 2 out of 6 chances to kill this thing before it moves. And it uses up all my attacks, all my actions again. All right, second action. Oh, actually, under the... we can have Venkman actually go again. So he can take both actions. There's not a rule in the basic gameplay that we're following currently that limits how many times you can use a special action. That's one of the first things they limit as one of the enhanced difficulty options when you do the expansion, the More of a Bad Thing expansion, hard mode. That's one of the first things they kind of restrict. 1 special action per round. 1 of a type of special action per round. So you can't just sit there and use the same action over and over again. But in the basic game we're playing currently, I'm allowed to do it. So that's much better odds. So if we get that, we just need to avoid the 1. If we roll a 1, we make it worse. Anything else, and it kills the bird. So we got to do it. Second action. We're going to go ahead and do his special action again. Let me get rid of that. So, please don't be a 1. A 4. Bird is dead. Thank goodness. All right, bird, you are gone. Don't need the hit cubes there anymore. At least that massive pain is resolved. At the expense of a turn, basically, but that's a much better result than what the options were that I was thinking about initially. I'm glad I spotted Venkman and thought through the possibilities there. All right, that's the 2 regular actions. So Crisis Adrenaline is done. Their 2 actions are done. We're moving on to the follow actions for the other team. Do we keep pushing our luck? I need to start slowing my roll on these special actions. We're not in terrible shape at the moment now that the bird's gone. We do have pressure over here. I would like to get, I was hoping to get some of these guys dealt with a bit, but we had to burn all of our actions for the bird. So, do we now get the firemen moving? I gotta stop using vehicle movement because we don't have the supply points that I need. Or do we get the bus rolling again to get this stuff done? They're pushed far enough south now that I've got a bit of time to get them finished. So if I were going to do anything, I would probably be bringing Ed back up again to grab at least a couple of more. If the bridges were open, I would think about sending him over to get these guys going. He's by far the best way for me to move civilians currently. The other option is to start evacing people out or getting the choppers set up. I can do as a follow action the reposition, which is only available as a follow action to move a helicopter or a boat. Evacuate you can do whenever with whatever action type, but actually moving the helicopters and boats can only be done as a reposition follow action. So this would be the time to do it if I were going to do so. So, what to do? And of course it risks the event. Nobody's in place on that team to affect the enemy. And this is the last opportunity. Well, they've already done. They can only do follow action opportunities now for the Pearl side. I think. Really, this is my hard choice. I got to decide if I want to get him moving. So it would be only 2 spaces, 1, 2. Wouldn't quite get them out ahead of this stack to defend, and it puts them out in the open. I need them to be able to get here. But my opportunities to get supplies are limited. We're going to be taking a lot of hits, I think, in this first night phase. We're going to be out of supplies, and I think I'm okay with it. So if we did a vehicle movement with Bill here, he'd have 4 movement. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd get him into the column in a building, which would help protect against the damage from the horrors. He could stop these guys from getting eaten right away. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Let's risk it. So we're going to do a follow action with Bill. We're going to spend our 1 point. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, got to trade in a 5 for 2 2s and a 1. Yeah, put the 1 back. We're at 4. All right, and let's see if we draw an event. We're about due. Hey, we drew an event. We got Pearl storage units breached. If the Oceanside Industrial Park 2C has any damage markers, spawn a murder horror stack into the area. It does. We are sitting there, I believe. Yep, that's where we're sitting. We're going to get murdered. Okay, so per our biohazard track rating, we're going to spawn 3 murder of horrors in that space. So we're going to manually draw them because we don't spawn them on the track. They spawn in a specific location. So 1, 2, and 3. And they go on the space, and we're going to have a combat immediately. So let's grab those, show the contents, repack to clean up the stack. All right, we've got 3 murders fighting us in close combat in a building. Dr. Corey steps in to do the combat. 3 horrors is going to inflict 1 point of damage due to the location. So we're going to roll 3 dice. The triangle, gold triangle at the top left shows how many dice we get to roll. We're going to hope to get 1 shield and 2 critical hits. That would be the best result. We're not going to get that, but that would be the best result. 3 blanks, and we take a 1 point of damage. So we'll go from 4 to 3 on the hits. Okay, so let's do this thing. All we got to do is roll our 3 dice and see what the results are. So 1, 2, and 3 is what we're going to roll. We get... Awesome. We almost got the best result. So we blocked the incoming damage, so we're not going to take any damage. And then we get to re-roll a die, which would be this one, but I'm going to leave this up so we know it's a hit. We'll re-roll this one. And we did 2 hits. Well, that is really nice. We didn't completely clear them, but that's a great result for us. So, 1 damage, 2 damage inflicted. We blocked their damage, so everything else is just going to stay the way it is. Good job, Dr. Corey. Good job. That's kind of why you're there. So, we have a close combat. So once again, I got to always remind myself, cube goes in the bag. Okay, that is it. Yep, that's it. So we did our 2 follow actions. Time to draw from the bag again. Turn order bag or turn order draw says it is, oh, okay. So now we get to do our Greenport Township turn. What I don't like and what I have seen happen, my friend Makem and I played a game, and in one of our rounds, or well, like it was a 2-round combo, we drew every single one of our turn actions in the first 4, like what's about to happen. So the bad guys went 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The next round started, and they then went 1, 2, 3 times in the first 3 segments of the next round. So basically, bad guys got 7 sequential turns. Wow, was that painful. That was so super painful. And it might happen again. It might happen again. Oh, that was so bad. All right. What am I going to do here? I shall ponder. So as part of our pondering, let's evaluate our board position again. So it's Purple's turn. They're all arrayed right along here. We just got our Fire Marshal Bill relocated. Dr. House is available for action now at the hospital if we need to air vac anyone. She is a follow action, is probably going to go ahead and take advantage of that. And she'll medevac over here via the air med and take the point of healing. So 2 actions with these guys. Ed Cramden taking another turn would be great. I got a little time before I need to worry about this section. I do need to get the bridge or the damage out so we can get the ship moving. So where is the focus? It would be nice to get some supplies too. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll send him up here to the Pomegranate Mall, both to start relocating that unit, but also we can get 2 supplies out of there. So yeah, let's plan on doing that. So he gets a free crisis adrenaline move up to his foot movement, which doesn't quite get him there, unfortunately. Oh, it would have been so nice if he would have got there. That's going to change the amounts. Do we wait 1 more turn before we do that? They're going to get 1 more turn of actions before we're done for the round and the beginning of the next round. So I got 1 more opportunity, and we're not going to get any more follow actions because we've already had both of the Pearl Services turns go. So yeah, it's now or it's the one other thing here in order to get those supplies in. How important is that? Or do we just take the hits? We're down to what? 4? Oops. We're down to 4. So as long as I don't spend any, things aren't too bad. Or do I just take the 1 movement and then use this action to get these guys relocated? He could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could get both of these down to the VFW park. Nah, I think we have enough time. That's going to be it's going to end up being a slow moving stack in that column. Theoretically, yeah, it's already at 7, which means 1 space per. Let's go ahead and do the 2 move. It doesn't really help him to do so, because I'm still going to have to spend an action to get into the space, and then another action to grab the supplies. Or we do the crisis move now, we do another crisis move when we draw the next token, and then he can get the supplies and move on out with those guys. So I guess that's what we'll plan on doing. All right, so crisis move there, done. Not moving again, not moving again, not moving, not moving, so That's it for crisis movement. Still feel weird not taking advantage of all that movement. Action phase. Not doing anything, not doing anything, not doing anything. So it's really down to having Fire Marshal Bill push some civilians. What options do we have over here? Just the search option? Yeah, just the search option. Or we do the dock repair, or both. Let's go ahead and do this. So he is going to tell the civilians to get to the next space. So he's going to go ahead and do the crowd control action. So they're going to move one area. He has 4 admins, so we could tell 4 different civilian units to move. They will do that. Then, for the second action, let's go ahead and get this dock repaired, or attempt to repair the dock. We've got a very high admin rating, but we still need to roll a 4, 5, or 6 to get both points repaired in one action. 1 makes it worse. 2 and 3, you only repair 1 point regardless of your admin, so we need a 4, 5, or 6, preferably. We drew a 2, so it didn't fail, but it only repaired 1 of the damage points. All right, that's our 2 actions. So now Pearl gets follow-up actions. We're going to go ahead and risk it. We're going to have her use an action to use the air med service. That's going to deliver her to here and heal her for 1 point. And draw an event card. No event. Followed by... We've got this here. It should be, almost feels like we can't have Kevin help out over here. What is that? 3, 4, 4. And this is 2. And I don't want to do a ranged attack and use supplies. I am tempted. Well, we got to get rid of the horror. I was hoping to get the helipad up and running, but we never had a chance. We had too many other competing concerns. But I was hoping to get the damage marker gone and helipad these out. But I don't think it's going to happen. Not with the amount of actions we have left and how many bad guy turns there's going to be. Likely that's going to get... we're going to get more units in here and have a tougher time with the fights. So, what to do? Second action to get her moving again? Get her on her way back over here? We still don't have the bridges repaired. She has no way to get across. Damn it. I've got nobody in place to repair that. And this, she'd have to come down and around. An almost longer trip. That's not going to happen. Dr. Corey. He's the one that lets you replace biohazard cubes. He's not really a combat guy. If we do a melee combat, it's going to be back to dice rolling again. 1 damage incoming. Got a pretty good chance of killing this unit at the cost of a biohazard cube, which he could then pull out of the bag if I can keep him from constantly having to fight. It's not going to change the odds when this stack moves in. Well, actually, it is, because it's going to be a 1 damage with a 4 stack, but if it becomes a 5 stack, it'll be 2 damage he'll have to block. I don't want to do it, but I have to do the combat here. I don't like the odds if we don't, especially with the number of turns they're going to get. So let's do a close combat here. So again, we're going to roll the 3 dice. We're going to add the biohazard cube and have to draw an event card. So we got no hits whatsoever and no blocks. So we just took a point of damage for that. That was not what I was hoping to see. Absolutely not. Worst possible result from that decision. And we're also going to end up drawing an event card for that decision. This is going to be one of the worst decisions possible. we're going to take all the bad news Yep. The hills have eyes. Spawn a murder horror stack directly into the Pine Barrens. 5A. All right, it's going to be 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Show the contents. What the heck? Repack. Didn't quite get all 3, apparently. What are you doing to me here? All 3 of you are selected. It refuses to grab that lower guy. I guess they're not quite stacked up on top of each other enough. We'll just do it manually. 5A, Pine Barrens, more enemies. That's going to turn this into a 7 stack. Yep, so it's going to be another large stack over on that side. We're going to have a problem. I got to get that compound up over here. All right, well, that's it for the follow-up actions. We did all the consequences. That second action really was bad. We zeroed out our damage, took a hit, and a biohazard cube, and spawned another stack from an event card, which was also a number 5 on the random number generator, which is not good because we want 5s generally. So, you know, that was the worst of just about all possible worlds. That couldn't have gone worse, other than, you know, a different event card. Okay, so that is that round done, or that turn done. Next up. Oh my God. My worst fear is being realized. Oh boy. Oh boy, here it comes. Random against Vormatrax is rearing its ugly head again. Okay. So, once again, the free move gets us up to here. You will come down to here. And that's about it. Staying. So that's everybody's crisis adrenaline. For actions, we're going to search here. We're gonna grab the resources. So action 1 gonna be the location action. We're gonna forage for supplies specifically. So there's 2 symbols in that space, so we get 2 supply points. So flip it to the 2 side, add it to the pile. So we're at 6 supplies. We can feed everybody that we've got over here. Second action is going to be... I really now... there's no connection here. Oh, let's get an exhausted marker. The location saying that that is now tapped out till the replenishment step later. So, do we get him moving and get these guys out of here? I could pick that one up. And if I spend the gas for the vehicle movement, spend the supply that is, I could go carry that and go 1, 2, 3, 4, then get that one and bring that one down. That would put them both on the helipad, and we could do the next follow action to send the chopper and then start evacing those 4 points out. The other option is to get these guys moving. The bad guys are going to have a whole lot of possible activations combined with them maybe going first next round. And this thing I talked about happening where we have 8 consecutive rounds of bad guy events just hammering us without any opportunity for me to respond. So, which is more important? 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's going to take a lot of actions to get them to a point where they can get evacuated out. He is pretty capable, combat capable. He's the strongest unit for combat on the board between my 2 factions. I think I'm going to wait on that one. Let's get this centerboard portion cleaned out. That way I don't have to worry about too much anybody else getting eaten. So, second action is going to be Ed. So we're going to pick that one up and go 1, 2, 3 to there, 4 to there, then 5 to there, and then coming back again with this one. And we'll spend a supply. Both actions done. Follow-up actions for Pearl. Where do I want you guys? Man, I really don't want this to happen again. I don't have that damage marker repaired. We run the risk of events making even more problems. Bridges aren't fixed. The time to abandon this location and those 2 civilians? If I was going to make that call, and I would have done it earlier with the crisis. I would have not made that really terrible second action. Oh, poor Bones. I got bad feeling about this, Bones. I think you're in for a rough time. And I really need your biohazard cube removal ability, so losing you would not be great. All right, I'm going to try again. We'll do another close combat for our first follow action. So, same situation, rolling 3 of the dice. I want 1 damage. That's all I want. Even if I end up taking the hit, I want 1 damage. We blocked and we got the damage. Don't need to re-roll. Not going to have an effect. So, all right, at least that one went a little better. So that one's out. We don't take any damage ourselves. Now the 4 stack coming in will still be just 1 damage inflicted. We do have to do a biohazard cube again for the close combat. 8 in the bag. And we have to draw an event card, or draw a fate card, and it is an event. We got violent riots at Camp Captree. Reduce the evacuation points marker by 2. We are at 0, so that's going to have no effect. No effect if the marker is currently at 26 plus and you are not playing alarming mode. All right, we got lucky. We're still sitting at 0 evac points, so it doesn't have any effect because we can't go negative on the base rules. Were we playing with the advanced rules in the or the hard mode rules, alarming mode, and the more of a bad thing expansion, it actually goes to -9. If you hit -9, it's a game lose condition. But we're not affected in this time, so we got lucky there. And the bad thing is the number 6 just got drawn. There's not that many of them out there. This fate card deck for these random numbers in the bottom right, it's the numbers 1 through 6, 6 times. So if I go searching through here, technically, I can actually, nope, don't spread, search. I could look and see how many 5s and 6s, which are usually the good results. So, I mean, we could count it. I'm not going to, but you could keep track, and that way you have an idea. There's only 5 cards left in the deck, so I could actually figure out what 5 numbers are available if I parsed this entire stack. We're not going to do that, though. All right, so that was number 1. One other follow action opportunity. I'm gonna risk it. I think we'll probably get another event, but I need to either get a bridge fixed or get this repaired over here. Fixing the bridge. I'd rather fix that bridge, but we've got nobody in place to do it. Her foot movement is only 1, so she wouldn't be able to get there in a move anyway. And I don't want to burn more supplies I don't have over here. We're already going to be taking multiple points of damage. She could take a heal action. Hey, Dr. House. When this unit uses heal ability, provides healing for another unit to use 2 hits removed. She's only got 1 left to remove, so that doesn't help. Do I risk it for a heal point? I don't think I do. I might give up the second one. Yeah, I'm going to give up the second one. I don't want to exacerbate my issues with yet another event card draw. So we're not going to use the second one. We're just going to start rolling with the punches. Okay, well, that's it for us for a while. These next few rounds are going to be short and sweet, but painful. A lot of pain. A lot of pain incoming. Let me think about this. So, all right. What am I most fearful of? Double movements. You know, the event card's going to come out. It's not really anything I can prepare for. We're stuck. I mean, we've done all of our actions. It's just 4 bad things in a row. So, what do we got? We got draw fate card. Fate card says spawn on track 2, activate 3 and 4. Okay, so spawning on 2. Activating 3, we do have a horde, a murder of horrors. We've got to decide which direction they go. So we're going to draw a fate card to pick a number, and that's the path they're going to take. Fate card we drew is a 1. Okay, so they're coming at me. Murder of horrors enters the space. That is the only stack in that column. So the 4 stack is going to move down 1 space. There's 7 tiles in the stack. That gives it a movement of 1. So that's all that happens. So the activation's done, but we have a fight. Let's go ahead and add the biohazard cube before I forget. So, you know, Blart's pretty good. He's got 3 for his dice roll. 5 hit points, 3 bravery. So he's not too shabby. We've got a 1-point damage incoming with only 2 horrors fighting in a building. So it's our 3 dice versus the 1 point of incoming damage. We get... we blocked the damage. Oops. And we blocked... Well, it was a shield. We blocked the damage, plus we scored 1 hit on the critical, and we re-roll 1 die to see if we can get a second one. Please give me a second one. We did not. So we inflicted 1, and we didn't take any other damage. So, not horrible. All right, that one is done. Next up, another one. Fate card says activate, or spawn 3, activate 4. Spawn 3, activate 4. 4 moves again. 4 eats the civilians. Put those over here. That causes them to gain a tile. And add another biohazard cube to the bag. And that is the only movement, or the only horror stack in 4. Next up, we got the event. Event card says March of the Wild-Eyed Rats. Another special unit's coming out. Oh, man. We got the birds in the first round, and now we're getting the rats in the second round. Draw a fate number. Spawn the Wild-Eyed Rats mutation standee directly into the lowest lettered building area on that track number. All right. Draw a card. Track 6. So the lowest lettered, so it's going to start with A. So it's going to be, well, it's going to be one of these two. 6B or 6C. I guess I'll do a number to determine which. Does it mention the tie possibility? Oh, no, it's 6. No, yeah, they're both in 6. So 6. They're equidistant. Yeah, I'm going to have to draw a number. The Latimer Pest Control Civilians unit is on the map or evacuated. The fumigation crew manages to blast the rack pat with poison. It starts with a hit cube of damage. Latimer Pest Control Civilians. So the question is, are they over here? They're not. And they're not. Or are they in this pile still? Search. Hanson, Partridge, players. So Latimer is on the board. I don't need to search through everything else. These are the only other 2 sources. So they're on the board, so they do start with 1 hit cube of damage. Rats. So they've got 3 hit points left. And they're on the board at one of these 2 locations. We're going to draw a card to see which one they go to. They go to number 2. The penitentiary. All right, so these guys are going to get eaten. And they can't grow the stack, but it is a Close combat, so they go there. Whoops. In the bag. And what other special do these guys have? The wild-eyed rats are super spreaders. When this unit conducts close combats, players add 2 biohazard cubes. Okay, glad I went and looked. We're running out of yellow. That's not good. I need to get this guy in action, getting some cubes out of the bag. Okay, so that is it for that one. So we got one more activation for them. Fate. Oh, we're out of fate card. Shuffle the deck. Spawn 5, activate 2 again. Oh, I could have done without that. I could have done without that. Poor Dr. Corey. So it was spawn 5. So we now have a 7 stack, another 7 stack. Activate 2. So they're going to move. It's going to give us another close combat. It's going to be another 1 damage fight. We roll 3 dice. Go ahead and do the cube. Get our dice grabbed up. One point of damage for us outgoing, but also 1 damage incoming. Not great. So killed one of the units. We take another point of damage. On to Corey. He's only got 2 points left. And we already did the close combat biohazard cube. So that is it. Round is done. Yeah, round is done. All right, so now my worry, like I said, is that we now start at the beginning of the next round, start drawing the enemy tokens, and they continue to get turns without us ever having a chance to respond. My record is 7 in a row for the bad guys. I really don't want to break that record. So tactically, our situation didn't change too horribly, other than the rats are out, but they're out in a good spot for us because I can adrenaline move him up 1, and then he can use his foam attack again to try to remove these things. They've got 3 total hit points. So we would need to get a 5 or a 6 to eliminate them with a single special attack. But it's still the best situation we could have had there. Corey's getting more action than I think poor guy, deserves. I really want to be able to use his ability, especially when we start getting red cubes in the bag. I need to be using his ability to get those out of there. He's the upper right one. He's the one where we use a special ability, we draw a number. A 1 makes it worse, we add a cube. 2 through 5, you get to remove 2 cubes of your choice and put them back in the available section. And then 6, remove 2 cubes permanently. So, we really, really need to take advantage of that. So I can't let him die up there. And there's a possibility he could. If that stack moves and joins and merges, there'd be enough damage potential that he would die. And he's only got a 2 saving throw. So that's bad. This stack moving and getting bigger is no surprise. That's fine. And then the rats, that's really mostly what happened on the bad guy side. So not too terrible, but there you go. That is the end of round 2 for the Plum Island Horror. I think I'll probably, let's go ahead and end this episode here. I think I'm going to commit to just doing 1 round per episode. So we'll have the series go 9 rounds, but it does take about 45 minutes, I think, even if I'm trying to move fast, to go through things while explaining what I'm doing and new mechanics we're encountering and all that kind of stuff. So, and trying to play careful enough and keep the rules straight to keep this as clean as possible with as few mistakes as I can. So, yeah, we'll wrap up here, and then we'll continue next round. The big thing that'll happen is we're going to be on round 3, which is going to be a night phase. So we are going to have the hunger phase trigger, and we're going to have to pay supplies. And, what do we got? I got 3 supplies here, so we're going to have to take 2 points of damage among our guys that are out on the board in order to absorb the lack. So we'll use them all up, which means I won't have fuel for moving vehicle movement if I do that. And over here, we're in pretty good shape. And we've got the EMT available, so he could always take the damage himself if I don't want to burn supplies, which I may not. I may purposely hold supplies back. It's another thing I believe they change in the altered rules for hard mode. with the expansion is they don't make it optional to spend supplies. There's a rule you can start using where you have to pay supplies if you have them. In the base game, I've got the option. I could take 5 points of damage and keep all 5 of my supply if I think that would be a better strategic move. So, yeah, there you go. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Plum Island Horror, still having fun. Good times. We had some interesting events happen. So I shall return with another episode probably in a few days. Hope to see you then. Stay safe out there.